Make sure we are in focus. I think we are good to go. Had a little bit of issue trying to switch it from vertical to horizontal so you could see me during this flow. All right, I'm very excited for today's class. Welcome in, bienvenue, divine, feminine, beautiful goddesses. Welcome to your 25-minute sensual, feminine, sacral chakra, all levels yoga class. My name is Amber Lay. I go by the Pathless Woods, aka the Feminine Chi, and I am a certified and insured yoga instructor, Vinyasa, as well as pregnancy. I've also worked as a postpartum doula. So this is completely within my wheelhouse, and I'm so excited to share it with you all. Now, if you're watching this after it's live, do check the pinned comment for timestamps so you can skip straight ahead into the class. Otherwise, a few disclaimers. While today's class is beginner friendly, I will be offering modifications along the way. I want to be clear that no one knows your body better than you. So if any posture or movement feels uncomfortable for you, feel free to take a breather and then hop back in whenever you are ready, okay? I say it to all of my students, 90% of the battle with any exercise or fitness or spiritual practice is showing up. So the fact that you're here right now, go ahead and give yourself a pat on the back. So a few things that you will need for today's class: some comfortable clothes for movement. Have yourself a glass of water. Mine is right over there. I'll leave it. And if you want to feel additionally supported, especially if you know you're not very flexible or you're working through any past injuries, a couple great things to have aside from a mat. If you don't have a yoga mat like this, feel free to put down a blanket, something preferably that won't slide around while you move. You could also incorporate blocks or a bolster like I have underneath my bum. And if you don't have those things, you can always stack a couple books. Or if you don't have a bolster, you could fold up a blanket, stack a couple pillows, make your space comfortable. That's the beautiful thing about practicing from home. It relieves that pressure. You can pause it whenever you need, grab the things that are going to be beneficial for you. And I just want to take a moment before we hop in, because I'm not going to make this intro too long. On my channel, if you've been following me, you see that I have shifted into feminine content. And I love to talk about the spiritual and balance that with the physical. So in some live premieres, I do a new video, live premiere or live every Wednesday without fail. So do subscribe and turn on those notifications so you don't miss out. A lot of the times I am talking and speaking to all of you beautiful goddesses about things that are high value feminine habits, but I also want to show you that I too do the things that I'm talking about. So I want to balance the spiritual with the physical, telling you and also showing you. So I'm very happy to have you all here. And we're going to go ahead and get into this 25-minute flow. I would be remiss if I did not mention, if you like this short 25-minute flow and you're ready for something longer, register at the link in my bio, in the pinned comment or the description of this video for this Sunday, December 1st. I'm going to be doing a 45-minute sensual feminine goddess yoga class, and that's going to be on Zoom. So you'll be able to keep that link, and it'll be a forever practice once you purchase it that you can refer back to whenever you feel like you need it. Now today we have all this orange behind us because we're focusing on our sacral chakra, our creative womb space as divine feminine goddesses. So we're going to create a little bit of heat within our body. We're going to stretch, move, and flow. And I promise you, you're going to leave this 25-minute flow feeling better than when you showed up. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into it. Give me a moment here to make sure I'm all right. Put my blocks off to the side. We're going to begin today's class reclined. Let me go ahead, use the weight, y'all. There we go. There we go. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and begin today's class. If you're in the chat and you can hear me, just drop a 333. Let me know, a little yoga emoji to know that you can hear my microphone. Oh, that would be awful. I started the live a few weeks ago. In the first 2 minutes, I was talking to the screen without the mic on. Today it's on, it's green, so we should be good. Okay, so we're going to begin in a reclined butterfly pose. Take your time getting here. And in reclined butterfly, or in yoga, Supta Baddha Konasana, we bring the soles of the feet to touch and we allow our knees to fall open. This is a very deep stretch within the hips. So if it's uncomfortable for you, a little tip is the more you slide the toes forward, the less of a stretch you're going to feel in the hips. Also an option to place blocks just beneath the thighs to prop up the knees, and that will also eliminate some of that deep stretch. Once you're here in Supta Baddha Konasana, we are going to allow our hands to rest on our sacral chakra, and that's about 2.5 inches down from your belly button in your womb space. It is our second chakra just above the root, and it is the color orange. So I want you to visualize a glowing orange ball or fire in your creative sacral chakra. And if you're feeling safe to do so, close down the eyes, and I want you just to take a moment here to connect with your body, connect with your breath. And just noticing anywhere you might be experiencing tension in the body today. And maybe sending a deep inhale down to those areas. And let's together now breathe into our sacral chakra, taking a deep inhale in through our nose and letting it go gently through the mouth. 2 more, just like that, at your own pace. And now I want you on your next inhale to start to close the knees, bringing them in together as you inhale. And on the exhale, letting them fall gently back down. Inhale, bringing the knees together. And exhale, releasing. Nice and controlled here. Trying to keep your tailbone and your back as flat to the mat as you can. Let's take 2 more rounds just like that. Inhaling as you bring the knees together. Exhale, releasing. And once more, inhale. And exhale, release. Now let's go ahead. If your eyes are still closed, blink them open, taking stock of the environment around you. We're going to bring those knees up. We're going to plant our feet on the edges of our mat, just wider than hips width distance. And if you feel like you want to open through the chest, we're going to cactus our arms like a field, like a goalpost. And we're going to windshield wiper our legs. So first letting the knees fall over to the left. It's okay if they don't touch. And then bringing them through center, keeping that back and spine flat to the mat, and then letting the knees fall to the right. And just staying in the rhythm with your breath. Moving at your own pace. We'll do a few rounds here. Really opening and getting into our hips, getting into our internal and external rotation. As women, we tend to store our emotions, our trauma within our hips, and they can become very tight from this. So not only are we focusing on the sacral chakra, but we're focusing on the hips today as they hold and harbor our sacral chakra. Let's do one more round, letting the knees fall to either side and meeting back in the middle. Now, very gently bringing one knee in at a time towards the chest. Give yourself a hug around the shins for showing up. And then we're going to take the arms behind the thighs and we're going to begin to create some momentum, just gently rocking, creating a little bit of massage for the spine. And then on the third or fourth one, coming up into a seated position. Nice and gentle here. And before we get into our cat-cows, we're going to take a few circular motions within the chest. So think cat-cow, where you're inhaling as you open, exhaling as you round, but we're going to take that into circles. So we're going to inhale, pressing the chest forward. Exhale, gentle tuck of the pelvis, rounding the spine. Maybe you even tuck the chin a bit as you come back. Inhaling and exhaling, getting all into our spine, our shoulder blades, the chest, and of course into our creative womb space, just moving at your own pace. Pausing and then reversing, taking the circles the other way. It'll usually feel more comfortable going one way versus the other. And you'll notice as we move through our flow today, you may have one hamstring that's more flexible or it feels stronger. There'll usually be one side of your body that is a little more adept to these movements, which is why it's so important to do everything on both sides. If you're training for your splits and flexibility, you want to make sure you're doing it both legs, not just one because you're closer to the floor. Okay, I've been guilty of that. Let's take one more round. Deep inhale as you come around. Exhale. And meeting back, sitting nice and tall, releasing the shoulders, no tension in the body. And let's go ahead and find ourselves now in tabletop position on all fours. So when you're here, you want hips stacked over the knees, shoulders stacked over the wrist, fingers spread nice and wide for more stability, feeling everywhere that you're rooted and grounded into the earth, even the tops of the feet. And we're going to take a few cat-cow. So as you inhale, you're going to drop the belly, opening the chest as you take your gaze up to the sky. And as you exhale, rounding the spine as if a string is being pulled up from your navel through the top of your spine, pressing into the hands and the tops of the feet. Inhaling for cow pose. Exhaling for cat, really pressing into the tops of those feet. It adds that extra layer, tucking the chin a bit. Two more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhaling, last one here. And exhale, tuck the pelvis, round the spine like you're stalking like a cat here. And release back to neutral. One thing we don't want to do when we come to neutral, although it looks like I'm doing nothing here, it's actually a very active. When we come into this tabletop, we don't want to drop into the shoulders or just let the belly flap. We want to keep that spine nice and flat. That's why it's called tabletop. People should be able to eat or sip tea off of your back here. So the core, the abdominals are engaged. Everything is active. And now to create a little bit of heat before we get into more of our stretchy postures, what we want to do here is tuck our toes into the mat and we're going to float our knees off of the mat. You're going to feel everything turn on. Don't let the belly be loose. Engage the core. It is your support system. Press hard through the fingertips. If you need to drop the knees, feel free. Otherwise, we're going to be here for a couple more rounds of breath, really creating that heat within the body. It's so important before we stretch and before we get into movement that we create heat within the muscles. One more round. You're a soldier if you're still here. And go ahead and gently drop the knees, untucking the toes. Beautiful work. Okay, so we're going to take 3 more rounds of cat-cow, but this time we're going to add the neck and the pelvis. We're going to create circles within the body. So think inhale for cow, dropping the belly as you roll the head back. Exhale, tucking the pelvis as you round the spine and just incorporating the neck into this movement and the hips, allowing it to feel like a dance. And this feels so good, not only within the sacral area, but within the entire spine. You're only as young as your spine is. Joe Pilates. Last round going in this direction. And then let's reverse it the other way. Inhaling as the belly becomes loose. Exhaling as you take the gaze down, tucking the pelvis. Last one. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, we're going to come into our first down dog of the day. If you have blocks or books and you know that your hamstrings are tight, blocks are a great addition to down dog. They take some of that pressure out of the hamstrings, out of the shoulders, but they're not necessary. Let's go ahead. We're going to inhale once more for cow pose. And then this time as you exhale for cat, you're going to tuck the toes, lift the knees, send the hips high for downward facing dog. And once you get here, just finding a bit of movement in the body. Maybe you pedal out the feet. Maybe you bring the feet together and twist the heels nice and slowly to either side, dropping the hips. And now if you're really tight in your hamstrings, you can step the feet wider and bend into the knees. You don't want to feel it all in the wrists and the shoulders. The more you step the feet out, the deeper you bend the knees, the less pressure is going to be in the shoulders. And we're really rooting through our thumb and our index fingers in this L shape here. Now to start to create a bit more heat, we're going to inhale, lift our right leg up, 3-legged dog, and then exhale, place it down to the mat. So this time you root through the right heel, inhale, lifting the left leg for 3-legged dog, exhale, placing it down. Once more, inhale, lifting the right leg. This time we're going to exhale, round the spine as we bring the knee to the chest like cat, and then inhale, send it up. 2 more just like that on this side. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. And go ahead and drop the right toes. Always free to drop to the knees and take a break here. Otherwise, we're going to come to the other side. Inhale, lifting the left leg, 3-legged dog. Exhale, rounding knee to chest, just like cat pose. Inhale, send it up, keeping the hips square to the mat, releasing the head. Exhale, round. Last one, inhale. Exhale, round. And go ahead and drop the left toes down. And very gently just start to walk the feet up towards the hands so we can come into more of a restorative resting posture here, forward fold. Option to use these blocks. Feeling the heartbeat, feeling that beautiful heat that you've created. And now, if you do have anything for extra support here, blocks or a bolster, I encourage you to grab those now. Otherwise, keep the knees nice and bent when you do this next posture. So what we're going to do here is we're going to send the right foot back for a standing split. It's not about how high. We don't want to open up the hip. It's okay if you're right here, as long as you're engaged and you're feeling it. So standing split, inhale, lift the right leg. We're going to exhale, tuck the right knee behind the left, bending both knees for a Shiva squat. Inhale, send it up, really rooting through your standing left leg. The big toe is working overtime. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, standing split. Last one here. Exhale, Shiva squat. Now we're going to send the right toes back now. And we're going to bring our left palm inside of our left knee. Option to have support here underneath the left hand to eliminate some of that stretch. And we're going to send our right fingertips up towards the sky. Extended side angle. Breathing into this posture, really feeling the stretch along the serratus muscles of your right ribs. Breathing into it. And then if you're feeling like you can take it a step further, we're going to come into Trikonasana, okay? Triangle pose. So we're going to straighten that left leg. Maybe you slide your block or your prop in closer, keeping the right arm coming up towards the sky. And you want to think of it like your ribs are kind of like a chain on a bike. So your top ribs are going to glide down towards your pelvis as your bottom ribs glide up towards your shoulders, bringing everything into alignment. Nice deep stretch here in the inner thigh. Probably don't have to tell you. I'm out of breath, y'all. Beautiful. We'll slide that block away and we're just going to turn the left toes, both toes, for a wide-legged forward fold. Padottanasana. Let the arms fall, let the neck and head hang heavy. Maybe you shake the head no here. Nod it yes. Keep a soft bend in the knees. We don't want to lock through the knees when we're here. And now we're going to turn our heels in, toes out, and we're going to gently roll up for goddess squat. For all my beautiful goddesses who are tuning in during this live stream or after. And we want to find our neutral pelvis here. So tucking that pelvis, engaging, dropping down into the hips. And we're going to bring our hands to heart center. And we're just going to come up, inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale, inhale, and exhale. This time we're going to take mini pulses. Some people call this the goddess squat. Other people call it horse pose. We're just going to take mini pulses here, and you are going to feel it. Just taking pulses, keeping that neutral pelvis, pressing through the big toe, through the heels. We're almost there. Go ahead and inhale it all the way up, straightening the legs. Exhale, turn the toes to face forward. Exhale, forward fold. If you have a block now, we're going to bring it to the other side. We're going to turn to face our right toes. So now doing our standing split on the opposite side. So go ahead and bring the left toes in. right big toe rooted into the mat, and we're going to inhale, lift the left foot for a standing split. Remember, we don't want to open through the hip. It's not about how high we get the leg. It's about the control here. And we're going to exhale, left knee behind the right. Inhale, take it up, standing split, nice and beautiful, open through the chest, not collapsing in the shoulders. Exhale, Shiva squat. Last one, inhale, send it back. Exhale. And we're just gonna step the left toes back now, bringing our block or our support to the inside of the right foot. It's not optional, or it is optional. You can use the fingers here if you feel flexible enough to do so. Right knee over right ankle. And we're gonna inhale, sending left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Extended side angle. Really hug the right knee in towards your right arm or elbow. Breathing, feeling that stretch on the inner thigh. And if you're ready for it, take it into Trikonasana, straightening that front right leg, keeping the left fingertips reaching up towards the sky. You know, a lot of times if people have never taken yoga, they think it's just about being flexible or about stretching. It will build a whole different type of endurance and strength within your body holding these postures while cultivating that flexibility and, just as importantly, mobility. Beautiful. Let's now turn the toes to face forward. Last forward fold, wide-legged forward fold of the practice. The hard parts are over. Maybe you might notice that you're much deeper in your wide-legged forward fold now. And we're going to turn now, gently coming to the top of the mat. Stepping the right foot forward to meet the left. We're going to grab opposite elbows. Let everything hang heavy here. Maybe you find a bit of play, swaying side to side. Neck and head are heavy, they're loose. We're going to release the fingertips to the mat, engaging the glutes and the belly. We're going to slowly roll up, letting the arms and the head hang heavy, rolling up vertebra by vertebra, allowing your head to be the very last thing that comes up. Beautiful work. We are almost done. Okay, we made it through the hard stuff. Let's take one sun salutation. So we're in mountain pose here. Feet are hips width distance, palms shining towards the front of the room. We're going to inhale, reach it up. Exhale, hands to heart center, hinging at the hips as we forward fold. Inhale, coming to a halfway lift. Nice flat back here, just like in tabletop. And we're going to exhale, step the feet back. And we're going to either chaturanga, or you can drop the knees here, supported chaturanga, inhaling up to cobra, or you can come into your full upward facing dog. And then we'll exhale, coming to downward facing dog. Last down dog of the practice. This time we're going to go in reverse, bend the knees and walk the hands back in towards the feet. If you have a block or a bolster, we're going to drop the hips and the glutes down into malasana. So nice spinal alignment here. If you want an extra layer, use the elbows to kind of pry the thighs open. We don't want to dump into the low back. We're keeping that nice straight spine. Breathing here into our womb space, our creative space. Beautiful. Let's remove our block, our props. We're going to come all the way back reclined. We're going to end today's practice just how we began. Coming on to our backs, Hopefully my microphone isn't creating too much feedback with all of this movement. I'll have to get that figured out as I record more of these for all of you. What I want you to do is now plant your left foot flat on the mat, crossing the right ankle over top of the left thigh. And then if you can, lifting the left leg. Option to send the fingertips and interlace them behind the left thigh. Most importantly, we want to dorsal flex or flex our right foot to protect our right knee. Pulling the left thigh in towards the chest as we use the right elbow to press the right thigh forward. Feeling a nice deep stretch in the glute. And then releasing the left foot down to the mat, keeping the right ankle crossed. We can bring those cactus arms back like we did in the beginning, and just letting your right foot fall to the left. A nice, gentle, supported twist here. Now, whenever we do any supine type twist, we want to take our gaze opposite of where we're twisting. So taking your gaze towards the right elbow or towards the right side of the room, breathing into the right hip. And then we'll inhale back to center, and we're just going to switch the cross of the leg, crossing left ankle over right thigh, floating the right foot, interlacing behind the right thigh, and pulling in towards the chest. Using the left elbow to press the left thigh forward if that feels good for you. You'll probably notice here which hip is a little bit tighter. Breathing into any areas of tension. One more deep round of breath here. And releasing the interlace of your fingers, letting the right foot come to the mat, keeping left ankle crossed, cactusing the arms, and letting the left foot fall to the right, gaze coming over towards the left. On your next inhale, coming back to center, uncrossing the left foot, and we're going to close our practice just as we began in Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet touching, also referred to as reclined butterfly, bringing our hands gently over top of our womb space. I would play a little singing bowl, but I think I'm just going over that 25-minute limit, so I will save it for this Sunday's class. And just notice how different your body is feeling now in this posture. 25 minutes later, after creating heat, taking time for yourself, tapping into your creative, divine, feminine womb space where you can birth new ideas, increase your feminine magnetism to better attract your desires, your goals. And of course, taking time for self-care, showing love to your body, moving with intention. Now let's bring our palms to touch, letting our thumbs come to rest just between the eyebrows at the third eye. We'll take 3 rounds of breath here to close our sacred practice for today. Breathing in through your nose and letting it go. Breathing in, releasing back through the nose this time. Last round of breath, deepest inhale you've taken all day. In through the nose. Taking an extra sip if you can. And sigh it out heavy. Namaste. Thank you, beautiful feminine goddesses, for showing up to practice with me. Spend as much time here in this reclined posture as you need and come out of it slowly. I so appreciate each and every one of you, all of your likes, your supports, your shares. Please do share this practice with someone else who may be needing it. Refer back to it whenever you might be needing it. And if you're looking for a class that is just tailored to only you, your past injuries, your pregnancy, your fitness goals, do click the link in the description. You can book a one-on-one private virtual session with me. And I do hope to see you this Sunday, December 1st at 9 a.m. Pacific time for our Sensual Feminine Community class. Click that link in the description, in my bio, or the pinned comment. Until next time, I am sending each and every one of you so much peace, love, and feminine elevation. Namaste and Ase.